goes.
Okay friends, we hit Stihl with all our big hot rod power saws. I was hoping to run that still, but of course we hit a nail. So what I'll do is I'll put you guys on the stump. I just want to try this P42 with this 28 and just see if this is kind of it's a good sized tree. It's, you know what I mean? Like, we'll show you. Here, I'll just back you guys out one. Another nail. So friends, I just wanted to show today this bucking because these power saws that I'm going to use today are 60cc power saws. Let's just say that one's from the freaking 80s, 70s or 80s, whatever it is, P42. Nice little saw. Yeah, it's a great saw. It's not too heavy, but again, heavy is what you're doing with it. Heavy is only what you're doing with it. If you're packing it around and not letting it hang off your body, anything's going to be heavy. If you learn how to pack a power saw properly, the weight becomes different. Anyways, you'll notice here I cut a little sliver because I got to buck this sooner or later because I've got air underneath. And we get onto this Stihl 362. It's a ripper, to be quite honest with you. And that was that chain that I smashed that nail in that tree. But you'll watch what I do here. I go under to buck, but I think it's this next buck. What I do is I actually just buck, and then you'll notice I cut a little sliver out of the wood at the top. I think this is the buck here. And what allows to happen is the log to close up a little bit as I go under and buck it so that it pops. So this is compression wood, which means it wants to squeeze me, right? So watch what I do here. I believe this is the buck. Yeah, it is. So there, I came up and went back down, and I took like a 1/2 inch buck. Watch, I'll flick out a piece right here. Here it comes. Boom, there it goes. Now I go under and I buck the tension wood. And there it goes. It drops. So, because I had air there, right? So now we just finish up the bucks and carry on. But anyway, we're getting on to this 362. I filed it up, got it cutting as best as I could. It's not cutting to its primo, potential, but it is still cutting quite nicely. So that's coming up in a minute.
friends, that is a P42 running a 28-inch bar, full house. I just threw that muffler on just to give it a little more jam. I like it. It works good. It's better than the stock muffler. But it'll do it. It'll do it. I don't know what those are for CCs. I think they're about 65. I think.
It's all in the filing, friends. All in the filing.
And it's got a governed carburetor on it. Stock, bone stock. So there's been nothing done to it. So, yeah. Anyway, we got an old Mac here too. We got fired up, didn't we?
Yeah.
Anyway, I was going to file this thing, and I may just give it a sweep. We hit a nail badly, and we drilled it. Yeah. So, friends, I'm going to give this Stihl 362 hot rod. I forget the name of the gentleman that gave it to the channel, but he gave it to us right after we sent it. The one I bought at the Walker's brand new for the twins, and it came like literally within the same month. It was crazy, somewhere there. It's all on the channel. But anyways, I hit a nail as you saw, but I want to give this a run. So I spent the time filing the nail out of it. And we're going to give it a go. I really like the P42, but friends, if I'm going to pack around something like this, I'm just going to grab a 70cc saw. That's just how it is. And I believe that you will see that if you do the same, like, do the weight difference.
Just, sorry, for starters, right? Yeah, and then, you know what I mean? Look out. Very important. Don't forget about where the saw comes from. Anyways, the 362 is a great little power saw. It's 12 point something pounds, 12 point whatever it is. The 372, which is 71 cc's and with the muffler, and maybe if you wanted to do something, friends, I think the weight difference is 2 pounds. 2 pounds.
To find out how much this thing weighs, I don't know, it might even say on here. Just a minute. It's 59 cc's, which is a good size. I don't know how much it weighs, but you guys will know because you're on the internet there right now. So, but find out what the weight is of this saw, and then the weight is of a 70, this is 59. Yeah, get an extra 10 cc's or 12 cc's. Do the math on the weight. It's not worth it for me to run these saws. It's just not.
So everybody always says, this chain's not that great. Well, friends, you saw what happened to this chain previously about a half an hour ago when I smashed it into that steel and just destroyed it while I brought it back to life as best I could. It's cutting quite nice, actually, but it is a round tooth too, right? It's like a round tooth, not chisel, which would cut way better. This is a wonderful saw, and I want to thank the man again who brought this to us. Sincerely, thank you. I love this little thing for certain application. I'm just showing folks with a 28-inch bar with 60 cc's, you can stand up and buck. Friends, I need to talk to you about something. I hear these fellas that obviously aren't in the know. They talk about the oil. The oiler needs to be upgraded. I've never heard this before in my entire life. Never. Just get the RPMs up on the saw. Stop bogging it down. The slower the chain goes, the less oil you're getting. You don't need to upgrade an oiler on a power saw that you need to throw 3 or 4 extra inches on a bar. Don't worry about that stuff that you hear about. It is untrue. Now, there are certain models that had weak oilers, the 346 being one of them. When I went to a 28-inch bar, its oiler is just weak from the factory. So if you got a good oiler, run thin oil, get it rolling, keep the chain speed up, rev in between cuts, keep the free... You know what I'm saying, friends? That stuff that's weird, actually. That's actually weird. Friends, let's give a major shout out to the cameraman, please. Kevin, the homeowner. The dude's on the money. So friends, when you're standing up 90% of the time, to go down once in a while to dig in the dogs, to go through some crazy knots or some weird spot in the log, it's not an issue. But when you're down there 90% of the time, it's actually hard to stand up. You may as well stay down, or for me anyway. So I'm just saying, the stand up and buck thing, I get so many emails, people thanking me and people saying, why have I been doing this way for so long? I don't have the answers for that, but we've all been taught a certain thing from our grandpas or somewhere. If you were taught by a professional faller, then 9 times out of 10, you'll probably run a long bar. If you were taught by your uncle or your grandpa or your dad at the homeowner or whatever on the farm, you're probably running the short bar. It's just where we come from. Mind you, on the East Coast, you guys are used to a shorter bar. Your professional guys are as well. It's all geographical, friends. Let's celebrate the joy of the feeling we have when we run a power saw, not the size of the bars, shall we? So friends, Kevin's dad's been watching me here for 15 minutes or so or whatever, watching. Listen to what he says. Listen.
The longer bar, you can stand up and do it instead of...
Precisely. Did you hear what that gentleman said? This is what he said. We all, because if nobody teaches us, actually this feels lovely. This actually feels, that's interesting. This is a much nicer feel. Maybe I'm just used to them. So here it is, 28-inch bar. The gentleman just said, it looks like you can stand. I said, yeah, I stand up. So you learn about your tip when you stand up. You'll never learn about your tip in wood like when you're just on the outside, like this here when you're cutting. You'll never learn about when you're on the outside of the wood or when you're on the inside of the wood if you don't do this type of bucking. This is what I mean. So did you watch that? The buck with the tip?
Yeah.
Did I hit the dirt?
Nope.
So you saw what I'd done with those knots there, right? I could feel them. They were there. You can feel the tip when you're on the outside of the wood. Right here I go in. I go after the knots, so I dig in because it's rough cutting. You're better to dig the power head in on that scenario. Here, back up. Nice, clean, straight cross grain. So I do what the wood tells me to do, not what I want to do.
buddy. So, yeah, good. So, friends, that was slow, like slow. For starters, the bar was too short for me. It was too short. There's not enough power in those saws for me. I'm being honest. You guys see me do this all the time. The more you're sitting there either bent over or like, you know what I mean, struggling. I was actually struggling there. It's fairly knotty wood. You hit a knot, it slows down. That's when I dig the power head in, is when I run into knots and I need some help. That's when I get down on the power head, when I'm into bigger wood. But when you got power, you just stand up and buck. So wherever you want to spend your energy is up to you. It's just how it is for me. Thank you for watching. Work hard, be honest. And most of all, be kind. We'll catch you on the next video. I had to do it conventional because I smashed that nail. Okay, friends, we're just gonna cut this stump down here on the old, with the old 362 here. I hit a little pebble there. Yeah, see sparks flying there? Dead. Felt good to climb, actually. I wasn't planning on hitting steel, but we did. See you on the next one. Be kind, friends.